This is Film Center, your number one show for real entertainment industry news. No fluff, all facts. Now, here are your anchors, Derek Johnson II and Nicholas Killian.
Hello, everyone. This is Film Center, your number one place for entertainment studio news. My name is Nicholas Killian.
And I'm Derek Johnson II.
Awesome. So what are we going to talk about today, Derek?
Today we're talking about the Mario movie, man. It has been crushing at the box office.
Rushing.
We are currently recording this on the 28th of April, and it's been out for a little bit now. And right now at box office, it's sitting at $912 million according to the numbers.com. This movie's breaking records. It's huge right now.
And it only came out on April the 5th.
It's so wild. It's actually ranked number one by the numbers on top based on game weekend domestic. So that means video games, movies based on a video game, domestic, it ranks number one. When it came out on the 5th, its opening box office was $146,361,865. God dang, Brandis. Oof. That's a lot of money for one weekend.
It's a lot of money.
And part of its popularity is there's nothing else really to watch for children right now. It doesn't have a lot of competition.
Not a whole lot of competition.
But today we're talking about an age-old rivalry.
Yeah.
Not only are we going to talking about Mario, we're also talking about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog is announcing that there's going to be a Sonic 3. And I got to be honest, we're going to have a bit of a controversial opinion here. I think Sonic is going to outlast Mario. I know.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people are going to say, oh, how is that possible? All I got to say is the main reason why is because it needs way more support to reach the same audience level as Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, here's my thing. Their rivalry started way back in the day. The Marvel.
80s?
Yeah. Not Marvel. I meant Mario. Mario came out in 85. Right. Sonic the Hedgehog, 91. Sonic the Hedgehog was... No one thought that someone could get rid of Mario. There was no... Mario had no competition, and when Sonic came out, it blew it out the water. Let's not pretend like this movie doesn't exist because there's a Sonic 2. After Sonic was popular, and it was announced that there was going to be Sonic 2, of course, that's when Mario was like, okay, we're going to make an animated movie with Illumination. They have it. Now, this is not the first Mario movie.
Yeah, there was a 1993 live-action movie that they had. It cost them about $50 million.
Yeah, and how much did it make?
It
Worldwide.
made $40 million.
Wow, they lost $10 million in the time of DVDs.
Yeah, yeah, in the time of DVD.
Back when you could make your money in DVDs. So it was a huge flop back then. It was a huge flop back then because there was no respect for the source material. Everything was just... It wasn't Mario. But This new movie is more Mario. They're plumbers. The main storyline is basically... Everyone knows the storyline of Mario.
Right.
Mario and Luigi, they're plumbers. They save the Mushroom Kingdom. Bowser wants to marry Peach. Yeah. But this time, I'll say this. The movie's a lot more fun. I really think that when it comes to video game movies, they made a really great choice of keeping it animated.
Yes.
Live action is often difficult to replicate for video game movies.
Yeah, well, because the video games are not live action themselves.
Right. They're meant to be squishy. They're meant to be fun to look at and stuff like that. The character designs are not really meant to be brought to life in the first place, especially cartoon-based stuff. So we saw that with the first iteration of Sonic the Hedgehog. And to be fair, I'm just going to go ahead and give Mario all of its stat pats that it needs to have. On Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a 59%, but the audience score is 96%. Now, here at Film Center, we don't care much about the critic. We don't really care much about the
critic can go up the creek.
Exactly. But looking at Sonic, when it had its first movie coming out, that was a 93%, and the second one at 96%. So then it's why do I think, obviously the Mario movies made so much more money.
Right.
Not like way more, not even close.
Way more.
Very fast.
Yes.
So where am I coming from that this Sonic is probably going to outlast Mario when it comes to theater? It comes down to two things. One, the type of IP it is. And number two, audience satisfaction. Okay? So when it comes down to the type of IP it is, Nintendo is known for not caring a lot about its audience. Nintendo strives for perfection in everything that they do. They have cut out. I mean, there was this isn't, like we said, this isn't the first Mario movie. There was also a Mario TV show. Those things that went left buried. When people stream Nintendo product games on Twitch and stuff like that, a lot of takedowns. The YouTube videos often get taken down. They don't put out a lot of music either. Music from the games, they don't allow it to be played, stuff like that. Almost to the point where it seems like Nintendo isn't even really friends with this audience. Compared to Sonic the Hedgehog's audience and Sonic the way Sonic Team handles it, they'll let anyone just basically do anything. Now, has this resulted in some bad games? Yeah. Sonic has not had a good game since Sonic Mania here in 2023. But to be fair, the Sonic fan base, they'll take anything that they can get. Like, they're not going to leave. When it comes to the Mario fan base, the Nintendo expects perfection to happen.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, both of these, when it comes to audience scores, they rank pretty similarly, right? And with this Mario movie, because of how infamous the previous Mario movie was and how infamous Nintendo's ability to bring Mario to the screen has been also on TV, they pulled out all the stops. You got to look at the cast list.
Yeah.
The cast list of these two don't even match at all. With Sonic the Hedgehog, they had the same audience scores, but they don't even have anywhere near the star power they do. No. Sonic the Hedgehog, you're looking at, really the only A-lister is Jim Carrey and Idris Elba. No offense to James. No offense to Ben Schwartz, the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog. I loved him in Parks and Rec. James... Cyclops, what I'm saying, X-Men.
All of them.
X-Men's great movie. And also, he was also in that... First of all, I will say this. He has experience being in a movie with an animated sidekick on a road trip. Because wasn't he in
Hop?
Yeah, remember the Easter movie?
Yeah, the Easter Bunny movie.
Yeah, he was...
Peter Rabbit or something like that?
No, what's it called? It was called Hop. It was like the Easter Bunny movie.
Gotcha.
Remember where he became like an Easter bunny or something like that. I gotta admit that it's weird that he has experience doing this exact same type of movie. But at the same time, Jim Carrey is really the biggest name attached to this project, right? When people heard Jim Carrey were going to be in it, there's a good portion of people like, oh, I'm not going to see it because it's of Sonic. I'm going to see it because it's Jim Carrey. And then Idris Elba only came in Sonic 2. So you can't say that, that one does rate higher. That one is a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. But when it comes to the Mario movie, you're talking about Chris Pratt, Jack Black, Keegan-Michael Key, Seth Rogen, Charlie Day. These are all household names.
Yeah, and you're forgetting one very important stat that we have not previously mentioned, that Mario has over Sonic, and because it's better. And that is the Peaches song.
Oh, the Peaches song?
So Jack Black, hold on. Jack Black has a song called Peaches that went to number 83 on the Hot 100.
Yeah, their marketing has been insane.
Sonic cannot say that.
Sonic cannot say that, although...
Has Sonic had a song in the Hot 100?
I don't know. Escape from the City, I might have to check up on that.
How old is that song?
It's not relevant. It's not as relevant as the Peaches song.
Listen, but I like Sonic Racing just like anybody else.
Mario's marketing has been through the roof. They spent all this money. And then, obviously, it worked. In fact, if they didn't make this kind of money back, it would be shocking and embarrassing.
According to Variety... They only spent about $80 million on the marketing.
Yeah, so you're talking about $100 million for the budget, right?
Yeah.
Then you're talking another $80 million for the marketing. And to get their entire funds back, I think they're going to need, $396 million according to that.
According to the Daily Campus, the break-even point is $396 million.
So their break-even point is $396 million. So if you look at Sonic stats when it comes to the actual box office, it's nowhere close. Right, the first movie, it was made for 85, and these are all from by the numbers. It was made for 85 million, made back 319 million during a pandemic. When people were like, some people say, maybe that's the reason it made the money. It didn't help other movies. Sonic was not the only movie during the pandemic to be fair. It didn't help the other ones. And then you're talking about Sonic 2. Sonic 2 was made for 110 million, made back 405 million. So why does it like, oh, why do I think Sonic's going to outlast them? It's because
you also do have to factor in the mystique of Jim Carrey. And not just him as an actor and him as a force to reckon, is the fact that he was already semi-retired before he did the Sonic movies. And then also, he's been acting strange in the past couple of years.
Doesn't have some like soul searching or something.
Soul searching. I guess he's tired of being a Hollywood man. He's tried whatever it is. Like he went to that award show and was like, I'm just trying to find the most meaningless thing I could do, and that's talk to the reporter he was talking to, and just And so the thing is, doing strange things like that are maybe normal things, but we think they're strange compared to everybody else.
Jim Carrey might be on another level right now.
That adds to the mystique of not only had he not done a movie in a while, but he's also doing these...
Jim Carrey said he was going to retire after the first Sonic movie, and then Sonic 2 comes out. At the first Sonic movie, and then he announced he's going to be in Sonic 2. Then he announced he's going to be in Sonic 3. My whole thing is, like...
They paid him money.
Yeah, they paid him tons of money. But my whole thing is, I think the series is going to outlast because with Sonic fans, they're used to getting mediocre stuff or used to things not working in their favor. When something works and the Sonic fan base's favor, they will talk about it until ends of the earth. They're used to not really getting the best. They're used to getting the short end of the stick. Compared to Nintendo fans, right? Now, not saying Nintendo doesn't have any bad games, because that would not be true. But Mario fans, Nintendo fans, they're used to things being really good. Like I said, some of the games...
perfection.
Right. Some of the games have also been bad, right? However, they're used to a lot of really great stuff. Nintendo has failed historically when it comes to bringing things to the screen, like Legend of Zelda. They had a TV series that was not good, that was not popular. They have tried to bring him to film several times. I think it was like about 12 years ago, a YouTube video was shown of a experiment to see what that might look like. It was some of the same guys who made the TMNT movie. They made some like trailer for Legend of Zelda that didn't end up going anywhere. So of course, they have to bank everything on being perfect, right? They have to get this star-studded cast. They have to spend all this money on marketing, right? Like, it was a huge marketing pariah, and obviously it worked. But Sonic Team doesn't need to do that. The reality of the situation is, if Mario makes a really good movie, and then the next one is just okay, like maybe the audience score drops down to, I don't know if it's 70%, maybe like 75, 80%, the Nintendo team is going to drop it. Nintendo is famous for just dropping things that are not perfect, instead of keeping up with it and continue to do things and keep
improving on it.
Yeah. Unlike Sonic Team. The Sonic Team, everyone knew there was going to be a Sonic 2 when Sonic came out. Everybody. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't like, oh, we don't think they're not going to do it. Unlike, they're about to cross $1 billion and there is no talk of Mario 2. What is the first thing anyone says when there's a successful box office weekend?
Yeah, the second one.
Right.
Is there going to be a second one?
How come there's no word of this?
What's going to be the storyline?
You can say that about any video game adaptation. What's the storyline of the first Sonic movie? It's a first Sonic video game. It's a blue hedgehog that hits a guy who's shaped like an egg, although he was technically Robotnik. But, you know what I'm saying? There isn't a storyline then either. You make up a storyline.
I think you make a great point. And I was watching this video on John Cena. He was talking about working in the WWE. And there has been and there always has been talk of the WE writing team just being terrible. And the workers...
If you didn't know, wrestling is fake.
Right, it is fake.
WWE wrestling. If you didn't know, the only real part is that they're really hitting each other, but the rest of it is fake.
They're taking bumps and getting receipts and all kind of stuff.
I always thought that that mat of theirs was like a bungee mat or like soft or something. Like, it's not.
No.
I did not know that.
Definitely not. But anyway, what John Cena said was, he said, I have never been given a sheet of paper and thought, wow, this is brilliant writing. He said, it's always been writing. It's always. He said, it's not that it's gone downhill now that I'm not there anymore or in recent years. He said, but what I'm saying is I sit there and look at it and say, how can I get the best out of this dog pile of
Yeah.
So I think that's what you're saying about Sonic. in them, because I would say that Mario doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Sonic does.
Well, yeah.
Mario is way better off than Sonic is.
I think that, no, I think it's really the expectations. The Sonic team has taken...
Yeah, that's what I mean, though.
Yeah, like Mario, if they didn't do super well, that's the thing. With the Mario fan base, if you didn't make it over 90%, that's a failure.
Right.
For the Sonic fans, if you would have made it 75% popularity on Rotten Tomatoes, that would have been a win for them.
Right.
But because it's 90, it just invigorates, but it really inspires them to come out and see 3, 4, 5. I'm just saying, if the second Mario movie is not at the same height as this first one, they're gonna cut it off. And yeah, they might be making $1 billion right now, but I guarantee you there's gonna be Sonic 4, and there's gonna be more Sonic after that, and eventually they will cross the $1 billion. It's like they're gonna
It'll just take longer.
Right. They're gonna win. It's like a tortoise versus the hare here.
Mario will win the battle, but Sonic's going to win the war.
Yeah, because I guarantee you, over time, they're going to make more. Sonic has how many shows on Netflix now? Like, they had Sonic Boom, and actually Sonic Boom wasn't even exclusive to Netflix. And then they have some new, I guess, like, through portals and stuff like that. They have another Sonic TV show. There's always Sonic TV shows on. When we were kids, 4W Kids TV, Sonic X. Sonic the Sonic team repeatedly shows up when it comes to television and entertainment for Sonic, which is probably why they were so comfortable making a second movie. Compared to the Mario team that has been shaking in their boots for a very long time, and they had to come out big because they have not responded to all this other stuff. Now, if you're talking about video games, it's a totally different area.
Right.
Totally different area. Mario is squashing in video games. Galaxy?
Mario
Galaxy, bro?
Dominating.
Galaxy 2 Odyssey? Yo. We're not talking about that right now, though.
But you remember Sonic Racing, right?
Yeah, I remember Sonic Racing. I remember Sonic Heroes was a lot of fun. Now, again, Sonic has some good games. But when it comes to film and TV, the Sonic team is just more willing to take the plunge, and they've made money off of it, a lot more money off of it, than the Mario team has.
But also, like you said, and like I've said, the expectation is already down here. Like, if it's a 75, if it's not terrible, it's a win.
And that allows them to do it again and again, unlike Mario. One thing I will say is if they do a sequel, it's okay. What's the storyline? They make a storyline for all of them. I never really, like, when I heard the Sonic movie was coming out, it's not like I knew what the storyline was going to be or what I could imagine it being. And it definitely was way different than I thought. First of all, them casting Jim Carrey, the fact that Jim Carrey's in Sonic in the first place is mind-boggling.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, and then, like, they have all these crazy casting decisions. Ben Schwartz is the voice. You know what I'm saying? Then you have freaking Idris Elba as Knuckles. But then when it comes to Mario, you can see exactly what they're doing, right?
Right.
They have all these names that are household names, right? Even Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong's not even the star. He's going to be there. And then they reference back to their video games with Sonic Race, with a Mario Kart, with the Rainbow Road. So for them, it's a huge advertisement. But for Sonic, it's just like another day. So I really think Sonic's going to outlast them over time. I think the only way that Mario is going to...
In film and television.
I think that...
Get that
straight, first of all.
Straight.
I think that the best thing for the Mario team to do is just either make this one movie, which I feel like they're going to do. I feel like they're just going to just make this one. Or if they do make a second one, it has to be better than the first one. And here's the issue. These actors are going to want a pay raise.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not going to do it.
It's not going to be made for $100 million this time.
Chris Pratt is like the it man in Hollywood right now.
Hot off Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Volume 3. You know what I'm saying?
Because that is really Mario's only competition right now, is when Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out.
I think the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is actually doing great marketing for Mario. He's the star of both movies.
Yeah, they're both Chris Pratt movies.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I think that it's actually going to be quite helpful. And then plus everyone loves Jack Black. To be fair, Jack Black could be in like anything. I would watch it.
I got to tell you, when I found out that they cast Jack Black as Bowser, I was like, that sounds ridiculous.
I think all of these castings make people laugh.
And then I saw it and I was like, all right, maybe. Let's see what he got.
Then he scored Peaches. And he's like Peaches.
Making these guys work overtime.
But yeah, this has been Film Center, and my prediction is that Sonic will outlast them. Especially, I'll tell you what, if Sonic 3 has Shadow in it,
that's a wrap.
they're going to make some money. They're going to make some money. Shadow the Hedgehog, the fan favorite, that's everyone's favorite. Like, Sonic is great. Everyone loves Sonic. Knuckles, everyone loves Knuckles. People would kill for Shadow. He will do dangerous things for that character.
Didn't Shadow have like a gun video game?
Yeah, called Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah, I remember had it on the PS2. He was like, he was shooting people.
I was like, what?
I will say this.
Didn't he have like roller skates too?
No, that's just how he runs. It's like a smooth. He does like these hover. That's just how he runs. It's like he just glides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he like teleports and stuff like that. I will say this, like when it comes to the Mario characters, they're a lot more soft. You know what I'm saying? Like the most evil person in the Mario world is Bowser, right? Then compared to Sonic, he has so many enemies. Was Metal Sonic, Knuckles was originally his enemy, Shadow, Dr. Robotnik. I think that's probably why they can probably get more out of it. There's more range for stories compared to Mario. His only real main enemy anyways, is Bowser.
But also the storylines are a lot more plentiful in Sonic than in Mario, because Mario doesn't. The storylines don't need to be plentiful. It's just the same. It's the same formula.
They don't need it, and I think that's part of the issue. That's why probably they might not even make a second one, because it's he saves the day. Sonic has killed genies and stuff. He's done like 1.5 billion things.
That's why I was saying, like, what's going to be the plot? Obviously, you can write one. Like, I'm not saying you can't, but I'm saying,
they're gonna try. I bet
organically, if you do a really great job, which they're doing right now, what's the plot of the?
You're not wrong. The only thing I can imagine them do. All right, so I've had to pitch for Mario 2. If I was them, I would bring in some stuff from Mario Galaxy, and be like, oh, okay, now it's not only the Mushroom Kingdom, now it's some Mario Galaxy stuff. But that's about it. Like, I don't know, because they already had so many references to Mario Galaxy in the movie. They already saw references to Mario Odyssey. You know what I'm saying? The issue is that it seems like they put everything in this one. You know what I'm saying? Instead of thinking of the longevity for it, which, I mean, quality-wise, worked pretty well. But if you look at the reviews from audiences, it gave the same effect. Yeah. If you have a movie which people are giving over 90 or 93% or higher again and again, like a movie franchise, 4 or 5 of them that have that response from the audience, only one 96% movie, even if it does make $1 billion, this is going to be enough, because right now, both of the Sonic movies combined, it's not $1 billion, but it is over 700 million. Yeah, it took them 2 to do it, but if they come up with 2 more, that's going to cross $1 billion. Unlike Mario, and we know that DVD sales are not what they used to be, so they're gonna have to make another one if they want to compete again, which they do. However, I don't think it's gonna be a good idea.
What do you? Let me ask you a question here. What would you rather? Would you rather the smashing success of the Mario movie? Let's say it goes on to make $1.5 billion.
Okay.
Or 2.
Let's say $2 billion.
Let's say $2 billion.
Okay.
Would you rather an absolute smash of a success for one movie, or have 3 good movies for Sonic?
I personally, there's 2 thoughts to this, right? One of which is like the SpongeBob versus Neptune, where he makes all those Krabby Patties, and then no one likes him, but SpongeBob makes one that's good. And then it's also, there's another thought where it's like, if I make 1 million pots and you make 1 pot, the likelihood that my 1,000,000 pots have a bunch of better ones is more likely than you only have 1 good one. The issue here is that both of these Sonic movies have been liked a lot. I would rather go for the franchise. And that sounds, you know what I'm saying? You're giving both audiences what they want in the first place, right? To show that you can repeatedly put out quality is better than showing I can do quality once.
Amazing quality just once.
It's true, but you're putting that against like years and years of them doing like nothing.
True.
Not by nothing, I mean like nothing when it comes to entertainment television. Once again, been killing in the video games. Video games are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd rather when it comes to a series, and like I said, that's why it's going to be more profitable, and that's why Sonic is probably going to outlast Mario. But yeah, this has been Film Center, guys. That's my prediction for Sonic versus Mario. That an age-old rivalry, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mario's going to pass 1 billion. I just know it is.
Oh, of course it is.
8. I think. Well, how do you think it's going to get?
I could see it getting up to 1.5.
Yeah, that's 1.5 bill. I see that. Everyone, this has been Film Center. I'm Derek Johnson II.
I'm Nicholas Killian.
And we'll see you next week.
This has been Film Center on Comic-Con Radio. Check out our previous episodes at ComicConRadio.com. You can follow the show at Film Center News on all major social media platforms. Tune in next Wednesday for a fresh update. Until next time, this has been Film Center.